Yo, before we jump into this video, I want to show you this clip I saved from the last job I had because the last job was confidential and I couldn't tell you, but you know, we get a lot of people out there that are like, hey, I could drive a truck, it's easy, all you guys do is sit on your ass, right? Yeah, I'm sure you could, maybe, I don't know. But look at this video right here. Can you back up to a loading dock and parallel park a truck like that? Take a good look at the front. Take a good look up there how much room's in the front, and they got it in there nice and straight, right? What's going on, everybody? What's happening, huh? How y'all doing? It's not summertime in Michigan, let me tell you that. It's fucking cold, my friends. But the cities are peaceful in the middle of the night, ain't they? You could even go over here to Tommy's Express Car Wash and get right in if it was open. Just sitting here to see if I can meet this cute-ass police officer I met last night. No, I'm not gay, it's a female. But the alarm at this here store keeps going off as soon as I walk in. Last night she came. She was good looking, my friends. But then I just set it off again. I was kind of hoping she'd come back. Maybe I could work my magic that I don't have. But you gotta catch the old smoke breaks when you can, right? One more delivery. I'll catch up with y'all in a bit. So for those of y'all who followed me for quite a while, y'all remember when I used to practically live at this truck stop right here? When I was living out on the road, right? Coopersville? Nope. Going home to my bed tonight. But I tell you what, that last stop, boy, there were some sketchy people around getting some groceries out the dumpster and weirdos everywhere, man. That's the bad part. That is a bad part. Well, my friends, today is over. The work day is over. The week is over. Today is my Friday. Hope y'all are doing well out there. Just wanted to check in because I got a few emails and comments and whatnot. People being like, what up with the new local gig? You going back over the road yet or what? Well, probably not anytime soon, to be honest. Now, I want to say I have nothing wrong with being over the road. If you're over the road still or you're looking at getting into going OTR, you know, it served me well for a lot of years. I made a lot of money, had a lot of fun, did a lot of traveling, did a lot of good shit, right? It did used to pay better, that's for sure. And you didn't sit around as much and all that nonsense, but I don't really want to go into all that. I just wanted to throw out there that I'm not an OTR hater and I might do it again someday, right? But at this moment in time, the job I have is going very well. But in a situation that perhaps this job starts to suck balls for some reason, which I don't foresee happening right now, but how many jobs have I had that I did not foresee that and then all of a sudden they did, right? I got my eye on a bunch of different local places, right? Because now I'm centralized in Michigan here instead of being on the west coast of Michigan, and there is a fuck ton of local jobs, and my friends, they pay just as well, if not better, than OTR. I understand there's jobs, you know, like when I was doing the multiple stops to milk, so on and so on and so on, that, you know, I was making $110,000 a year and all that nonsense. But generally, OTR, these jobs pay better, and especially if you look at the amount of time that you put into them, you know, like actual hours instead of your entire fucking life, right? And then you go home for 3 weeks and they're like, yeah, you're only gonna take 2 days off, right? Oh, you can have 3 days. I've been on the road for 3 fucking weeks, man. So, yeah, my shit's going pretty good. I'll talk to you about that a little bit here. Basically, I don't work very much, man. Like, for real. I average between 6 and 9 hours a day, on average. So, like tonight, I worked 6.5 hours. Last night, I think I worked 7. The night before, 5. I had one day there that I worked like 10 because it was snowing and I went up north, you know, shit like that. It really just depends on how many stops you have, what route you're on, and maybe you get there and the store is all messy and fucked up and you gotta move a bunch of shit or whatever's got going on, right? But other than that, I've been just turning and burning them out. Well, I get paid by the day. So they say it's $300 a day, but by the time you get your $400 a month bonus, and that's pretty easy to achieve, you know, it's got the Netrodyne driving camera system, the real one with like the 3-dimensional view shit that catches every little thing, man. You reach in your bag to get a sandwich and it's like distracted driving. Oh God, I couldn't imagine having that system in an OTR truck, dude. It's probably coming. I'm sure of it. I can deal with it in a local truck. But man, that just takes all the OTR out of OTR, right? Isn't that the whole thing, going out there free balling it and, you know, just being free? Sucks for you younger people who never got to have the old days of OTR when you didn't have no cell phones, no trackers, no nothing. Nobody knew where the fuck you were, man. You were just gone. But the bonus is easy to get, that one is, because it doesn't go by like speed or anything like that. Like I was following I don't speed that much, a couple mile over the speed limit type deal. But I was following some of the trucks back to the depot the other day from work, and they were doing like 72. That's quite a bit of speed, and really in Michigan, but people do it all the time nowadays. It doesn't go by that. They just will call you after you like have excessive speeding or whatever. They'll call and say, "Hey, simmer down." But like, your bonus is just based on like stupid driving, like running stop signs and, you know, doing stupid shit, right? And product damage. Not if you like bump a skid and fuck up a box or something. It's like if you leave a whole skid of meat out on the dock because you're a dumbass and you didn't put it in the freezer. You lose your bonus and you got to pay for it. Like $2,000, man. They'll take your bonus until you pay for that skid. You get one free loss, and then after that, you got to pay for it. But it's real simple not to do that. They're labeled freezer, chiller, ambient, you know, real fucking simple. So that bonus is pretty much easy to get, right? It just goes by your whole Netrodyne system. That's easy to achieve. Anyway, I'm always one of the top safety people, believe it or not, right? And then you get a quarterly bonus as well. As long as you work your 5 days, you get your guaranteed pay. If you don't work your 5 days, like you called in, because I was sick the other day. Unfortunately, I had to fucking call in. I was sick, man. I got that sick in a long time. But, and no, it wasn't because I got drunk. It was actual sickness. But if you miss a day, then you go to load pay, because the loads are all book rated, like being a mechanic or whatnot. So you lose money, you know, because you're making more on your day pay. So all in all, I figure you're making what, like $350, $360 a day, something like that. It's basically, like, I don't know, what, $1,650 a week or something like that. Which nowadays, man, ain't that bad. I mean, I know. Like when I was over the road, I was always shooting for like $1,800 to like $2,200 a week. Usually achievable, but a lot of times, even at the last place I worked, you know, hauling for this customer right here, that was all, you know, a secret back then. It was hard. I was averaging like almost $1,900 a week there. But man, we were running some fucked up hours and some fucked up bullshit, man. Constantly just fucked up stuff. You know, sleep here, split here, do this, do that, sit over here, do this, do that. Fucking run in the middle of the night, all the bullshit. So, you know how it goes. You know how OTR is. It's just kind of turned into a real shit show out there, right? But this local shit seems to be where it's at. Y'all local folks had this shit locked down for a while, huh? I mean, I've looked into it in the past, right? You guys know that. But I just wanted to be OTR back then. I really liked it. And now I don't like it no more because it's just a huge pain in the ass. It's all short hauls and fucking around and just really gross, man. It just ain't nowhere near what it used to be, man. It's just stupid fucking shit. Governed trucks and... Ugh, it's disgusting out there. So I did, you know... I came over to being local about 5 years sooner than what I anticipated. But all in all, I think that's where I'm staying. I mean, I could see where maybe I get to a point where I'm old as fuck, like older than I am now. And I have to go back OTR because it's easier. But at that point, too, I could also just take like a local job that's like P&D, you know, pick up delivery, swing the doors. Back into the dock, not have to do anything. Because the job I have right now, you know, it's not like food grade where you're running up and down the ramp with the two-wheel dolly and shit like that. I looked into them. Them actually pay like 100, 110, 120. You know, there's guys here that make that. Depends on what tier level you are, how long you've been there, and what runs you get. So in the future, you know, you could make 110 here. There's guys that are doing it. I can't do it right now because I'm the new guy, so I get all the lower paying runs. and I don't get extra stuff, right? And for the tier level I'm at, it's not worth it for me to even take an extra day on, because I would actually lose money because I got my guaranteed pay coming anyway. So let's say I only book rated $1,200 that week, and then I'm gonna get $1,600 anyway. If I went out and worked an extra day, that whole day's pay I would already got anyway. It doesn't go on top of your guaranteed pay. Get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Which is good to know, because I thought the opposite. I thought the more you worked, right, wheels turning, you're earning. Nah, you're better off just hanging back until you get to like your 1 year tier level or something like that. And then as you rank up, then you can pull more loads and get more money, and you'll beat your book rate, will beat your guaranteed weekly pay. Huh? So we ain't fucking with that now, and I'm just enjoying the time off and everything anyway, and the money's good enough. I've adjusted my living, right? You see my humble home. No more Harley, no more Silverado, no more none of that shit. And I really don't care. I don't give a fuck, It was nice to have all that shit back in the day, but I don't care anymore. So I'm at that point in life, that it's all good. The job's actually really easy. I mean, some people probably wouldn't like to schedule the night shift. I think that's perfect because there's no traffic. And then, I'm delivering to a grocery chain. So it's like right where, Home Depot and GameStop and Applebee's and all that shit is. So during the day, that's like a clusterfuck going in there, right? At night, shit, I can take a wrong turn to find the store and just fucking cut through everybody's parking lot and shit until I can get it right, There's no cars parked in there in the way or nothing. So that's kind of nice. There's nobody at the store because I trained during the day, and then there was a lot of traffic. And then also there's people at the store putting shit in your way, the employees, and you got to watch out for them, because I accidentally ran a guy over with the pallet jack. It was his fault. He walked out in front of me. But at night, there's nobody there. It's just me. So I got nobody in my fucking way. I can just hammer down and do my business, right? The only downfall is it can get a bit sketchy. Like, I was in Detroit. I go to Detroit quite a bit. 2, 3 in the morning, midnight, whatever. You're in the back alleys, right next to the dumpster and all the bullshit back there. Believe it or not, the fucking store shuts off all the lights at night, man. They don't leave it lit up back there very well. And you go to some sketchy shit, like tonight, there's just the dumpster divers. I've gotten used to that. It was weird at first, but they throw away good fucking food. If I was allowed to take it, I'm not allowed to take it. I would take some of it, man. It's not even out of date or nothing. Like, it just gets crushed a little bit and it's cold out. There's nothing wrong with that shit. So you got people up there just like loading their vans right up, man. They're grocery shopping right out of the dumpster. That was a little bit weird at first, but those people are pretty harmless, right? Like the ones tonight I talked to for a minute. I basically went to back in and I seen like people in the dumpsters. I was like, oh, fuck. I got out. I'm strapped now, by the way. I'm ready to rock and roll. But like, I got out, I was ready. And then I talked to him for a second. He was hustling to get out of there and get things boxed up. And I noticed a van like that had driven in earlier, because I scope shit when I come rolling in the parking lot, see what the fuck's going on. The driven in earlier and was heading that way, and all of a sudden it shut its light off and it was sitting in the alley over in the cross there. At first I was like, oh, what's going on here? Then I went up there because I got to walk past the dude to open my doors and all that shit, and he said hello and all that. He seemed pretty decent. He was just getting his shit. Open my doors and I go to back in. I mean, he's even like, because he had thrown a bunch of shit out of the dumpster, he went through and cleaned up his mess, like put back in the dumpster what he didn't take and shit. That's pretty honorable, man. And so I told him, I was like, hey, man, I'm not going to call cops or nothing on you, dude. You don't have to hurry, whatever. And I said, if that's your friend over there waiting to come and pick this load up, go ahead. I don't care. I'm not going to say a word. Now, the other day, I had some lady, she was parked right down in the dock, loading her van up. And I walked up and I was like, hi, how are you? Try to be nice. And she's like, what do you want? And I was like, can you move over by the dumpster? I need to back into the dock. And she's like, fuck you, you fucking asshole. I probably should have called the cops on that bitch. Fuck her. She's trespassing that night, but I didn't. I just fucking she moved, right? So you run into that. That's weird. And then I had a raccoon the other day, man. It sounds stupid. Some of the older guys warned me about the raccoons, and I thought they were joking, making like old dude jokes. You know how us old dudes are all funny as fuck, right? Well, they were like, don't worry about the homeless people. It's the fucking raccoons. Oh, fuck, dude. Do not fuck with a raccoon's grocery store, brother. He's eating out of that dumpster, feeding his family out of that dumpster every night, and he's not having you come around, dude. That motherfucker would be like up there. Like I said, I'm strapped, but I also got fucking tear gas, gel, pepper spray, police issue shit. I bought some of that. Possibly for people, right? I got non-lethal and lethal. Let's see where you want to go with it, right? But the pepper spray might come in handy for the fucking raccoons. And I seen this dog the other day eating, and I was like, damn, that motherfucker bite me too. There's all kinds of shit, man. They ought to do something with that food, right? But raccoon, man, I had to like squeeze between the trailer and the dumpster, so I mean I had to be close to this fucker, and he's like just hissing at me and shit. I'm like, damn, dude, how do you fight a raccoon, you know? How do you do that? But I got in there and got past that. For the most part, really, I've been to a couple of, you know, down Telegraph, 8 Mile, Eminem's neighborhood, right? You heard about it? Did that one the other night. It's really not that bad. It's weird, right? It's fucking weird. Being in the store at night alone, that's not really that weird. I thought that was going to be weird, but once I'm in the store, I'm alright. And even pulling in isn't so bad because I can scope the situation before I go inside. It's coming back out. Like, I always come out and there's no peephole or nothing on the door, so you just open the door to this fucking alley and you just don't know if somebody's out there waiting for you or what, right? So I've been in some sketchy fucking neighborhoods. I'm getting used to that. That still makes me nervous, though. That's the only part, man. It's the only part. You put me in a goddamn blizzard. Like the other night, I was up north in fucking whiteout, still doing 60. Whoa, hauling ass, right? Get my shit done because I'm from Michigan, you feel me? That part don't make me nervous. But these sketchy neighborhoods make me nervous. And then I was in Benton Harbor a few nights ago or last week or whatnot, and someone set off the alarm. There's a bunch of weirdos there, right? I had to walk right past them all and shit and go in. I got the store keys, the alarm code and all that. And there's stuff in there, right? You know, there's stuff in there. And all of a sudden the alarm went off to the front area. Because I can only shut off the alarm to the zone that I'm in. You know, there's one on the front area. There's probably another one on the office, you know, shit like that. And it went off to the front area. So I was like, what the fuck is going on? Are they breaking in or what? Well, it turned out that homeless people were up there just banging on the door, man, because they got mental health issues, right? That's the scary part. The people are just like walking dead fucking zombies, man. And I'm sitting there with my hand up on my hip. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, you want the pepper spray or you want something else, motherfucker? So, yeah. That's that. The job's fucking easy, man. Everyone's cool. Easy to get along with. Like I said, the days are short. I got so much time on my hands. I'm gonna start redoing my floors and painting and stuff in here, man. I got all this time to do shit. And you know, it wouldn't be for everybody. Like, I see a lot of over the road people that are just completely out of shape, right? I'm not saying it's hard, like, to run a electric pallet jack. Like, we don't stack nothing. Like, if we come in and it ain't stacked, we don't take it. We don't touch nothing. You don't run no regular pallet jack. We're not even allowed to run them. They don't want us getting hurt. It has to be the electric pallet jack. So basically all you're doing is you're just pulling the skids off, right? And then it says like ambient, so it sits on the dock. It says chiller, so it goes in the cooler. Or it says frozen, so it goes in the freezer, right? You look at the labels, you match the store number, make sure it's the right one for the store number, and you're not mixing it up. You put it where it's supposed to go, right? But you gotta hustle. I mean, you don't have to, I guess. If you want to take all fucking day doing it, you could, but that don't make no sense. And then down the road, you want to get fast at it because, like, as they get busier, say like tonight I work 6.5 hours, so obviously logbook wise, you guys know I got a ton of fucking hours left for the day. I could have came back and done like a short little Grand Rapids or, you know, Greenville or something like that and got another tier load pay, right? That's when you start getting up there. The way I look at it right now, I'm probably going to make about 85,000, 90,000, which lately I've been struggling to make that over the road, my friends. And I'm a runner, man. I was staying out like 2 or 3 weeks. Fuck, I was living out in the truck, right? And I was struggling to make that shit. So, you do gotta hustle to get it done. But you just get in there, you get good with that pallet jack. I'm getting better and better with it. You hustle with it, you get the shit off, you put your dunnage back on, skids, racks, egg racks, milk racks, or pallets, shit like that. The cardboard bales, everything that goes back to the distribution center, that has to go back on the truck from each store. So you want to be like efficient, like after you get your trailer, I'll unload one side, and then I'll unload another side. So when I'm coming back with the pallet jack, I'll grab that stack of skids and take it in the trailer with me on my way in, and then just go around it. And then on the way back, grab more and go around it and around it. And then by the time I get the trailer empty, I already got almost all my dunnage back on. I'll grab a bale of that cardboard and just ram everything to the nose of the trailer. And, you're efficient, right? You're in and out. So you are getting some exercise. I like that, right? I've been complaining about not getting exercise. I didn't think it was good. I'm not going to say it's hard. It's not hard at all, right? I'm just out of shape and I'm old. I'm actually a little sore from doing it. And it's like not much to it. The only thing to really manually move is bread. Which sounds stupid, you think bread's light, but when you put it in those racks and you stack it like 7 foot high and you put it on a 2-wheeler, it's actually kind of heavy. You do those and then stacks of eggs. The eggs are super heavy. You wouldn't even think that they would be that heavy. They're on big metal racks. You roll them off, but you got to be careful. You don't want that fucker to start tipping because you ain't going to catch it. And then you got a mess, But you can just leave there. If you dump it, a pallet, you don't even got to clean it up. You can just take and plow it in the corner. The employees will clean it up. That's what they say. But I just try not to dump shit, I will say the DC people don't load very well. I had a pallet yesterday. On the right-hand side, they had 12 packs of soda pop. And then on the left-hand side, they had paper towel. Right? Think about that, dude. That fucking thing was like, So all I had to do is slowly spin it, right, and pick it up from the heavy side so it was leaning against the pallet jack, and then I just dumped it in there. And I said, here's your fucking problem now. In and out, man. The trucks are not bad. The equipment's all pretty new. The oldest one that I generally drive has like 100,000 miles. I will say last night I got a fucking tank. Like probably the shittiest truck I've ever driven, possibly. Because I got in and it was that shift change and the other guys were running over. So, because what will happen is if you're on day shift, you're running your truck, you'll park it. I'll just jump in it. So it's all warm and ready to go, right? Everyone seems pretty good about fueling them up. Filling the def and the washer fluid and all that. Not so good at washing the windows, but because I can't stand dirty fucking windows and dirty mirrors, man. It makes it hard to see at night, right? So, last night when I got back, nobody was back yet, and he was like, sorry, man, you're gonna have to take a Mac, because they got like 4 or 5 of these spare shitty Mac trucks. They're junk that nobody really drives. They're just there for a predicament like that. I took off, dude, you couldn't even get the hood closed. It was legal, right? It was legal, but it was trash. It smelled like cigarettes, which you can't smoke in the trucks, and I actually kind of like, because I hate stinky ass. I smoke in my vehicles, but I smoke with the windows down, man. And it just freaking reeks up in that truck, man. Like, it's nasty cigarettes, and it's just filthy in there. Just, ugh. It's like somebody drives a fucker still. Anyway, man, going down the road, I think it's just, what a fucking piece of shit, dude. But it was kind of fun. It was kind of humbling. It still pulled like a fucker. It had a lot of power. But it reminds me back, remember when I was doing that lease purchase and I got stuck in a Mac? Those Macs are garbage, man. They got internationals. I'm not a huge fan of internationals. Only the sleeper version, because I don't like the sleepers on them. The day cabs are fine. They're all automatics and shit. The guys actually keep them clean. Because the day shift guys got seniority, right? To get the day shift, so they get assigned trucks. Night shift, I'll just drive whatever truck's there. But they keep them clean, so that's cool. They wipe them down and shit. Like tonight when I got back, I just topped up all the fluids and the fuel and the def, and I washed the windows and shit for whoever had it, because they took the time to wipe the dash and do all that stuff. So it's just, you know, just be cool about it, right? And you don't have to mess around at all. You just, your load comes up on your log book, basically on your tablet. It's just Samsara logs. It'll pop up, right? You accept the load, it'll automatically route you. Now you gotta look sometimes, like it did the stupid the other day. I had a stop, had one stop in Muskegon, and then my second stop was in Grand Rapids, and then my third stop was in Muskegon, and the Grand Rapids one was only 2 pallets. I was like, fuck this. I just stopped in Grand Rapids, dropped off the 2 pallets, and then finished to Muskegon, right? You gotta watch it because it's a computer that generates the loads. But for the most part, you just hit accept, right? It'll route you. You go there, you back in the dock. It tells dispatch that you're there. It tells dispatch when you leave, and then it routes you. I'm using their GPS on that. Now, I would not use that GPS if I was like over the road, going to be in Philadelphia and, you know, Chicago and all that shit. I'd use my Rand McNally. But most of these places I actually know my way around anyway, because it's Michigan, right? And I'm from here. And you kind of go back to the same places a lot. So I use their mapping system, just pops right up, and then just keeps doing that every time you leave. So that's how dispatch knows when you're getting done, in case they want to book you another load when you come back. And then, you know, you just, that's it, really. There ain't no paperwork or nothing involved. You just come back in, you turn in your store keys, you turn in your truck keys. They usually just tell you to go home. I haven't had one yet where they had me another run. On night shift, day shift, they'll do multiple runs. They work like 12 hours a day on day shift. I don't really understand that. I mean, I guess if you have kids and stuff, it'd be worth it. But the day shift guys, they got to deal with all the traffic. They got to deal with people at the store, like I said. But they also have to work a lot longer for not that much more money at all. Or kind of the same amount of money, right? All just to be on days. And I guess if I had kids, like I said, I'd probably do it. But I wouldn't want to be off for days right now. I'd be like, hell no. I keep nights. Other than the creepy back alleys, fucking nights are perfect. And I'm getting used to that whole creeper shit. But then you just in and out, man. That's just how it goes. Like right now, I got Wednesdays and Thursdays off. A lot of guys wouldn't like that. They'd want the weekends, but I don't give a fuck. Man, I get so hours off compared to OTR. It's ridiculous, man. You should see my house. It's spotless, right? It's just getting some shit done, my friends. I do have to say that getting used to sleeping at night or during the day and working at night, I don't have no problem staying up all night. I've always been good at that. But I'm an ag exempt runner, man. I can run for days, right? Right, MDT boys? But sleeping during the day is a bitch. I'm getting used to it now where I can squeak out like 5 or 6 hours of sleep, which was normal anyway because I'm fucking old. I always did that. But I'm starting to get used to all that. That's pretty much the sum of all that. I think I pretty much talked long enough about that. And I am allowed to film right at the store. So I'm just going to film some shit up while I'm doing stuff. You can watch me crash up some pallets and stuff. See what's going on out there. Maybe I'll talk to some homeless people or whatever and put them up on the YouTube, right? Make them famous. My huge channel here. Yeah, that's about all I got. I try to get back to the comments. As you guys know, I'm not very good at that. I apologize. I do read them. Just so you know, I do read them all. I may not necessarily respond, but it's still worth putting in the comments because other people respond to you. And I do read them. So, as always, I appreciate y'all watching. I'll catch up with y'all later on.
Ain't my daddy, but he calling me baby. Talk ain't cheap, so he know he gotta pay me. Chauffeur got him driving Miss Daisy. When it shot, but a nigga couldn't play me. Money long, just like my bundles. I ain't crying in the back of no Hummer. Few racks, turn a lit bitch up, huh? Few stacks, he might get my number. Click, click, get the dials on, baby. Put some heat on a bitch, now she hot.